Welcome to a Farming Simulator 19 assistance test video with me, MrSealyp. That's right, it's test time again. We are back on Felsbrunn, and this time we're using field 29. What are we testing? Well, from the thumbnail you probably already know, but we're going to be testing seed. More specifically, if we hire a worker and we set the setting to buy seed, is it more expensive or cheaper than buying it per pallet? Now on Farming Simulator 17, and I believe 15 before that, it was a kind of long-held belief. I never actually saw it written down anywhere, but when people commented and when I started playing the game, I was going through forum posts and comments on YouTube videos and kind of things. And people always said, you know, steer well clear of it, don't set it on buy, it's way more expensive than buying it on pallets and seed bags and that kind of thing. So I kind of always did. I avoided it like the plague. And then obviously there's a couple of provisos to this, a couple of disclaimers. One being that at the time of recording this, this is how it is. However, in the future, if seed and fertilizer refill points come out, or there are any other seed bag mods come out, or anything like that, where the prices are different, that could affect the findings on this. But as it stands at the moment, a seed bag, if we go into the menu here, is £900, euros or dollars. There you go. There is a big bag option available, but it's exactly the same price. It's 2,000 litres for 1,800, which still makes it 900 for 1,000 litres, which makes it 90 cents or pence, depending if it's euros or dollars or pounds, for a litre. So 1 litre is 90 cents, 90 pence. So we're going to test it first with the seeder. I've got one bag of 1,000. We're going to put it into the seeder, and I'm going to do it with wheat. Now I'm also fully aware that different crops, different seed types will use different amounts. This is just a base test. This is a simple test with wheat, just to prove the theory or disprove the theory. Will it cost more using it with a bag that you load yourself, or if you just set a worker off? So that's what we're going to test out. So first things first then, let's jump into our tractor. The tractor is fully repaired. The seeder is brand new. Actually, I think I can just fill it up as it is. Don't need to open it. There we go. So we're going to put our 1,000 litres in. Now it doesn't really matter that it costs 900 for the bag. What we're concerned with, what we're going to be concerned with, is how much it uses, and then we'll work out obviously per litre what that has cost us. What I'm also looking at is the amount we've got in the top window there, 16,928,378, because obviously there's going to be worker fees. The worker will charge me for going up and down. I'm not doing this myself. I'm going to set a worker to try and keep it as fair as possible. And then, like I say, we'll do the second test and we'll see what happens. Now it should, in theory, use exactly the same amount of seed. Shouldn't make any difference. Now I may, on the second test, not line it up exactly perfectly, so it might be out by a few litres, maybe 2 or 3, or you know. What I'm going to try and do, I'll try and line it up as best I can, so the corner of the seeder is right on the corner of the, just there, like so. Back it up a little bit, so right on the corner, so there shouldn't be any issues. It's on wheat, and I'm going to hire a worker. So when it finishes, we'll just see how much it's used, we'll work out how much that costs, also what we've used in fees from the worker. We'll add those two together, and then we'll do test 2. And we'll see what happens. So, hiring a worker, and off we go. Now if you're new to the game and you're not aware necessarily what it is I'm talking about, if we go into our menus here and we go L1, R1 and we scroll across, if we go to this menu here and we go down and then up to the top and then go to fuel usage, there we go. So helper refills. So this is all the helper refills. I always have them turned off for this very reason. So you've got helper refill seed, fertilizer, slurry, manure, etc. And you can set these on different settings. If you put helper refill seed on, it will take it directly from an imaginary source. I'm not sure. It's another one of those ones where there are a lot of people saying the game needs to be more realistic. Yet when you set that to buy, it kind of appears into the tank out of nowhere. So it's one of those, I don't know. But anyway, that's what you can do. That's what we'll be checking on the next one. I'm not going to touch that now because that will affect what we're doing at the moment. So what I'll do, skip to the end. I'll see you when we finish. We'll work out how much we've used, how much that's cost, and we'll go from there. Right, we are done. There are 762 litres left in that tank, which means it used 238. That's right, isn't it? Yes, 238 litres. So 238 litres times by 0.9 or 90p, 90 cents, whatever it is, comes in at 214.20. Then if you look up the top right hand corner, the worker fees we started on, it was 378, on the end it's 264. That was 114. Yeah, 114. Add those together. For doing that field, for the seed and the hiring salary worker fees, it comes in at 328.20. 328.20. So the next test then is to do it without seed in the tank. We'll set the refill, helper refill, to buy, and we'll see if it comes in at more than 328.20. Then yep, go with the bags, go with pallets. If it's less or the same, you might as well just hire a worker and let them buy it. So we'll test that out in a moment. Let's get this back. Now I'm going to reset this back to an original save. Nothing will be different. The tractor will be reset. It'll be the same seeder, but nothing will be in it. So I will see you in a moment when we're reset and we're ready to go again. Right, test 2. This time I'm not going to put seed into the seeder. I don't think I need to. I'm pretty sure. If I now go into my settings and we go down to helper refill seed and we put that on buy. Those are the two options, off or buy. So it's on buy. What should happen is when I set the worker off, it will automatically kind of take it, refill it, or use it, and the money will go down. Now, one of the other reasons why I've always shied away from it, is, you know, it's a weird psychological thing. In that, if you buy a bag of fertiliser or seed, or the seed for 900, it takes 900, bang, that comes off your top line. It comes, and that's it. When you see that money disappearing off your total as a worker is working, psychologically it seems a lot worse. You're watching that counter going down thinking, this is costing me a fortune, this is costing me a fortune. Potentially it could be, but your mind thinks this is going to be horrendous. It could be it's exactly the same. One, it takes it in a quick chunk and you don't really kind of notice. The other way, you can actually see that scrolling down. So what we're going to do now then, I should hire a worker and off it will go, and my counter will start dropping rather rapidly. Now that's going to be the seed that it's automatically buying plus hiring the worker, so the worker's wages. So that combined, if that comes in at more than 328.20, you're better off doing it with pallets. If it comes in the same, you might as well just hire a worker every time. It makes more sense to do that. Like I say, unless we get to a point where there's a seed refill point or some different seed bags come out and they're considerably cheaper, then it may well work out better doing it that way. But we'll see. So what we'll do is what I did before. I'll see you at the end. This time we won't have to work out how much seed it's used. We won't really know. All we'll be able to do is check the amount at the top and see what that comes in at. And like I say, watching that counter now, it seems to be dropping really, really quickly. And you think to yourself, this is costing a fortune, it's costing a fortune. But it might not be. I'll see you in a minute. And there we have it, filled complete. 16,927,943, which means it cost for the worker and for the seed £435, euros or dollars. Test 1 was 328.20, so we'll say 328. The difference between the two, £107, euros or dollars, which isn't a lot actually. That's not too bad. £107, euros or dollars difference. And you think, well, actually, I don't mind that, but this is quite a small field. If you scale that up to much bigger fields, that's going to end up costing you, I say, quite a bit more. I suppose it depends how much money you've got. It depends whether or not you've used any type of cheats or anything at all. It really does depend on how you're running your farm. If you're trying to do it as cheaply as possible, then you're better off buying seed bags or pallets or whatever. Like I say, this is just for seed and it's just a base test. I realise that all the crops run at different rates. They use different amounts depending on what crop you're putting in the ground. Planters and seeders will be slightly different. But this was just to test the buy seed situation. Is it more or less expensive? It is a little bit more. If you don't mind paying the little bit extra, it saves a lot of aggro and hassle. You can just set your worker off with buy seed on and off it goes. But it is more expensive. So it's one of those things, like I've done with a few of my tests. It was kind of what I already thought, although I'd never actually tested it. I'd never had any real concrete evidence anywhere. I just kind of made that assumption, and like I say, psychologically looking at that counter dropping rapidly, in your head you're thinking, this is costing me a fortune. The difference isn't huge, but there is a difference. It is more expensive to hire a worker and have it set on this setting. Helper refill, seed, buy. If you want to save money, turn that off and do it with pallets. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.